everyone, welcome once again. And I'm really sorry for not having posted a video in a long time. Well, you could just say that I got really busy towards the end of the previous semester. Well, it's a new semester now, at least in India, and I wish all my fellow teachers really well. Today's video lecture is on another very interesting topic, and that's learning, and I hope that this video really helps you. Learning is an extensive topic. Today, however, we shall discuss a few key concepts like nature and definition of learning, basic features of the concept of learning, characteristics of learning, and factors affecting learning. For starters, let's discuss nature and definition of learning. To me, learning is a key process for survival. We as teachers use the word learning all the time. Learning is not restricted to the classroom alone. As a matter of fact, learning begins as soon as we are born. We learn to seek for milk and food. As children, we learn to identify objects at an early age. Teenagers may learn to improve study habits, and adults can learn to solve complex problems. To learn is to acquire knowledge or skill. The ability to learn is one of the most outstanding human characteristics. Learning occurs continuously throughout a person's lifetime. To define learning, it is necessary to analyze what actually happens to the individual in the process of learning. For example, an individual's way of perceiving, thinking, feeling, or doing anything may change as a result of a learning experience. Thus, learning can be defined as a change in behavior as a result of experience. This can be physical and overt, or it may involve complex intellectual or attitudinal changes which affect behavior in most subtle ways. Now, in spite of numerous theories and contrasting views, psychologists generally agree on many common characteristics of learning. So, to summarize all of that, we define learning as a relatively permanent change in behavioral potentiality that occurs as a result of reinforced practice. This definition was proposed by Kimball in 1961. Let us now discuss a few characteristics of learning. Now there could be many, but I have listed down 10 important characteristics. Learning is the change in behavior, and change in behavior is relatively enduring or permanent. Learning in its any form or shape is always associated with some change in the learner's behavior. In fact, learning aims at bringing changes. However, it helps if these changes should always be desirable ones for the learner, something that makes it better for the learner. Unlearning strong habitual patterns gets difficult with passing time. Hence, it's good when people learn good things. The next one is learning is purposeful and goal-directed. Most people have fairly definite ideas about what they want to do and what they want to achieve. Their goals sometimes are short-term, involving a matter of hours or days or weeks, or on the other hand, their goals may be carefully planned for a career for a lifetime. Hence, one can say that the definiteness of the aim and clear understanding of the purpose makes an individual immediately learn the techniques of performing a particular task. For example, let's say there is a girl, Reema, and she aims to be an English news reader, and English is not her first language, and she has trouble with speaking or pronouncing. Then Reema may decide to join English coaching classes and train herself better. And she may start learning and eventually excel because of her goal-directed behavior and intention of being an English reporter or a news reader. The next characteristic is learning is a result of experience. All learning is by experience, but learning takes place in different forms and in varying degrees. Learning and knowledge cannot exist apart from a person. A person's knowledge is a result of experience, and no two people have had identical experiences. Even when observing the same event, two people react differently to the same event. Our past knowledge does impact our perception and how we learn new things. If an experience challenges the learner and requires involvement with feelings, thoughts, memory of past experiences, and physical activity, then it is more effective than a learning experience, which all that the learner has to do is commit something to memory. This is a reason why we say that students actually learn better by feeling, watching, touching, hearing, etc. Basically, we all learn better by experiences. I'm sure teachers who teach at an elementary level in schools have found it evident that students learn better when they are shown real teaching aids. For example, if you wanted to teach your students about a mango, merely showing a picture of the mango is going to help the students relatively less to pick up and to grasp the concept of the fruit mango in comparison to you taking a real mango in the classroom, or in comparison to you showing 2 to 3 different types of mangoes in your real classroom. So let's say you showed them a raw mango, a ripe mango, a small mango, a bigger mango, and so on. So this way you actually help your students build a relatively better concept or schema about the fruit of mango. Basically, we all learn better by experiences. The next characteristic is that learning is multifaceted. Now, psychologists sometimes classify learning by types such as verbal learning, motor learning, conceptual learning, emotional learning, etc. Hence, we say that it is multifaceted, dynamic, and comprehensive. The next characteristic is that learning is a universal process. It is so because we as living creatures, irrespective of our ethnicity, caste, color, creed, gender, geographical location, and so on, have the capability to learn. Myths and differentiation made on the basis of caste, race, sex, or continent have no substantial ground. It is a fact that all living beings on earth are favored by nature to possess the capacity to learn according to the species specific capacities. That should again be a reminder to us, all humans, that we are all equal and that we should not discriminate others on the grounds of caste, color, gender, race, etc. The next characteristic is that learning is a lifelong process. Also, learning does not always imply improvement. In other words, at times people or students may learn undesirable behaviors. Learning is often considered to be a process of improvement, but sometimes students may have a tendency to pick up undesirable habits like that of being idle, lazy, or even aggressive and violent. Sometimes students learn wrong things as well, which do not really contribute positively to themselves or to the others around them. The next characteristic is learning is transferable from one situation to another. The next characteristic is that learning involves reconstruction of experiences. In other words, old learning is replaced by new learning, and previous experiences are restructured and reorganized. The last characteristic is learning is an active process. This is simple to understand. We ourselves know that for students to learn, they need to react and respond, perhaps outwardly, perhaps only inwardly, emotionally or intellectually. But if learning is a process of changing behavior, clearly that process must be an active one and not a passive one. Now, there are a couple of fundamental factors which affect learning. To list a few, the age, maturity, and emotional conditions affect learning. If we consider students, then the learner's physical and mental health, basic potential in terms of knowledge and intelligence, attitude towards learning, attitude of the learner affect learning. Learning is also greatly influenced by the level of aspiration and nature of achievement motivation possessed by the learner. Also, a learner's readiness and power to learn is a great deciding factor in the results of learning. Ideally, learning can't really be forced, though there are exceptions to this rule. We all learn best when we have the will to learn and be better. Well, that is all in today's video. Please do like, share and subscribe. And I promise to upload more educational content soon. Take care and stay safe.